In this episode, I will share 5 very important retirement planning steps, so make sure you stay until the end. Hey guys, it's Thomas, your trusted advisor here. Whether you like it or not, retirement is inevitable, and we're gonna get there at some point in our lives. But to be able to live a comfortable retirement life, we need to plan ahead. You don't want to be planning for your fire escape routes when there's a fire outside your door. So likewise for retirement, you don't want to start planning for your retirement just before you reach your retirement age. It's always better to have some sort of plans than no plans at all, and it's never too early to start planning. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the necessary steps you need to take to plan for your retirement, the vehicles you can use to help save for your retirement, as well as some strategies you can utilize to supplement your retirement income. Let's dive in. Like planning for anything, you want to know what's the end goal you're trying to achieve. When do you want to retire? At age 60, 65, or like many millennials dreams, 40? By asking this first question, it will allow you to have an idea of the amount of time you have for saving. Once you find out how much time you have on hand for savings, then you can start working on it, such as the amount you need to save per month and how aggressively you should try to save them. Another important question you need to ask yourself is, what is your definition of retirement? To one person, retirement means working reduced hours, where to another person it means stop working entirely. This is important because if retirement means completely stop working for you, then you better make sure you're on track to saving up enough for you to do that. As I always say, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Keep in mind though, having an answer to these questions doesn't mean they are set in stone. They can certainly change if your situation changes as you approach for your retirement. So what do you want to do in your retirement? Leave a comment below. Now you might be wondering, exactly how much do you need to save to reach that retirement goal? Well, there's no easy answer for this question. Sure, there are lots of formulas and online calculators that will help you work out a figure, and they do provide helpful guidelines, but ultimately the person will have to calculate the amount necessary for his retirement because only he will know how much is enough for him. The key here is that this amount should be calculated taking inflation and the future value of money into an account. Once you can figure out the amount required for your retirement, you can see clearly the monthly saving targets you will need to reach for your retirement goal. For instance, Sam, age 25, wants to retire at age 65, which is 40 years from now. He currently makes $2,000 per month. With an inflation of 2.5% per year, he needs to make $5,400 in year 2060 in order to keep the same buying power as of today. In other words, Sam needs to make sure he has $5,400 of income per month from somewhere by the time that he retires. If he wants to solely depend on his saving, then he needs to save around $1.2 million for his retirement. Quick math here, with a 5% return per year, the $1.2 million will give Sam $60,000 a year, and that is $5,000 per month. Be careful here though, there's a lot of uncertainties here, because you need to factor in the extra medical costs you may need, longer life expectancy, or fluctuating inflation rates and cost of living, and etc. That is why it's advisable to always save more than what you think. You will need to take into account the unforeseeable. Another thing that matters is the amount of expenses. Some people live frugally, while others may live lavishly. People might be a homeowner or they have been renting all along. Some might have a car they may need to pay for, where some only take public transit. As a result, everyone's lifestyle expenses can be very different. Unless you expect to change your lifestyle 100% at your retirement, chances are your expenses will be more or less the same as your current lifestyle. As you may have figured out by now, it's never too late to start saving for your retirement. In fact, we should save for retirement the moment we start working. By starting earlier, not only we're able to save up less each month to reach our retirement goal, but also we can take full advantage of compounding returns. Let's look at an example here. Mary starts saving for retirement at age 25. She saves $3,000 per year, so that's around $250 a month. If she invests this amount with a 7% annual return since 25, she will have over $600,000 by the time she retires at age 65. Now, Gary didn't start doing the same until he's 35. He invests the same amount each month as Mary, and by the time he retires at age 65, with the same 7% annual return, he will have just over $300,000 by the time he retires. The end result here is that Mary contributes only $30,000 more than Gary, but she has double the amount that Gary has at age 65, and that is the power of compounding effect. Now that you understand how to kickstart your retirement planning and the importance of saving early, the next ingredient to the recipe of the retirement planning is what saving vehicles that you'll be using. In Canada, there are two main vehicles that Canadians can use for saving up for their retirement funds: Registered Retirement Savings Plan and Tax-Free Saving Accounts. In a nutshell, not only contributing to RRSP can lower your taxable income for that year. If done properly, it will allow your retirement savings to grow to a substantial amount tax shelter. But careful, RRSP is like a double-edged sword. It might hurt you if you have blindly followed what other people do. For more information, I left a link below in the description box and in the comment section where you get to discover more how RRSP can help or break your retirement. So check it out, please. The other account that you can take advantage of is the tax-free savings account. Canadians can open up this account as soon as they turn 18. And unlike the RRSP, the contribution limit is not determined by income but by age. So this account is a perfect place to keep your money to avoid retirement benefit clawbacks. The take-home message though, whether you decide to use neither the RRSP or the tax-free saving, or both, don't just treat it like a saving account and forget about it. At the minimum, you need to be investing in somewhere that will give you interest so that your money's future value can beat inflation. Aside from these two main famous investment accounts, you can get creative with other ways to build up your retirement portfolio. If your company offers you a pension plan, great! Make sure you start contributing as soon as possible. It will really pay off at the time of your retirement. But if you're like me, a self-employed and a business owner, it's not the end of the world. There are various ways that can help you save as well. Most of you may already know real estate is a huge vehicle that Canadians like to use to accumulate wealth. In a survey done back in 2018, it is estimated that 77% of baby boomers across Canada are homeowners, and the average net worth of homeowners was $824,000, 7 times more than that of the renters in 2012. As attractive as it seems, you might be tempted to put everything in real estate. But that's probably not a good idea. The saying, never put all your eggs in one basket, is always true. When working on a good retirement plan, it's always a good idea to stay flexible and be creative. For instance, you might want to work past the age of 65 with part-time hours. You might be surprised by how much difference a few years' worth of contribution make to your retirement fund. Also, a lot of people tend to focus on making more income, but it's just as important to cut down your expenses too. When you have extra money sitting around, is it smarter to pay down the debt first or to contribute into your retirement savings? The interest you save by paying down the debts could mean a lot for your retirement. As you age and get closer to your retirement though, you might want to revisit your investment portfolio and rebalance it according to your risk appetite. The risk tolerance for a 25-year-old versus a 50-year-old can be drastically different. So that's pretty much the 5 steps. But I want to give out a bonus. For homeowners out there, you have one extra option besides being a renter, and that is to do with a reverse mortgage. A reverse mortgage is a loan that allows you to get money from your home equity without the need of selling your home, and you can borrow up to 55% of your home current value. In most of the cases, the bank allows you not to make any payments until you sell your house or you pass it away. I don't have an existing video that talks about how a reverse mortgage works in greater detail, but if this is something that you're interested in and you want me to do videos on it in the future, leave a comment down below. Now that we've powered through the essence of retirement planning, do you feel more confident about your retirement? I understand that for most people, managing money is a stressful thing to do. But just think about it. If you can put up with this little bit of stress right now, you could very well live a stress-free retirement life. Seems worth it, doesn't it? No matter how small your progress is, believe me, any contribution is better than doing nothing. So start today, come up with a plan, and stick to it. Thanks for taking your time watching this, and I will see you in the next video.